What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the More Than Love podcast. I'm your host, Terry Duran.
And I'm your co-host, Jay Babel.
Tonight, we have a special guest with us tonight that's going to be joining us for the entire episode. I'd like to welcome Miria Valentine to the show. What's going on, Mimi?
Hey, y'all. How y'all doing?
All right, so this is the first time we've ever had somebody that guest appearance with us for the entire show. So I'd like to give a shout out to Mimi. I appreciate the love. You can find her on Instagram at Talks With Me. Can you spell out your Instagram page for him?
So it's Talks, Talks, with WITH and MEE. Talks with me.
All right, so tonight we have a really interesting topic. We're going to be talking about sex, love, and situationships. But before we get into the topic of the night, we like to start off the podcast with a segment that I call Terry's Top 3, where basically we talk about some of the most interesting or most controversial posts on my Instagram page at Terry Duran. So this week, instead of it just being me and Jay giving our 2 cents, me will actually be able to chime in and give the female perspective on the post, and so this should be pretty interesting. So let me pull up the first post of the night that we're going to discuss. This is a post that I was sent by one of my followers. So this is a video. So let's take a listen.
In fact, in my practice, more women cheat than men.
Oh, hold on.
Whoa.
Let's say that one more time.
I was not ready for that.
Well, I know this is a little off topic,
No,
but
good.
it is.
No. We're gonna go right. We're gonna go down this road.
It is absolutely true. And
So
the
from your
difference,
practice, you've experienced more women cheating than
yes, and it's very different. Men will cheat and still love their wife. In fact, 58% of them do. If a woman cheats, she usually is not in love with her partner. She, in fact, I think the report was something like 32% of women who cheated still love their partner. It is more rare.
Wow.
So, and when men cheat, because it's again a masculine trait and it's thought to be masculine, they are more likely to get caught. For women, it is.
All right, so that's where the video cut off. Now that's a very interesting topic. Now it's a lot of different things that they mentioned in the post. In the video that I found interesting. Now I don't think there's any way to ever really tell who cheats more, men or women. Like I just think it's better to just know that men and women cheat. You know what I mean? Like, and so a lot of times people that cheat you would never suspect of cheating. You know what I mean? But the part that I found the most interesting, and I'm interested to get your thoughts on this, me, is women criticize me and get all in their feelings when I simply state that a man is capable of loving one woman, wanting to build with one woman and have a family with one woman, cheating, getting some head or some pussy from somebody else, and still loving his woman and his family, etc. You know, there are a lot of women that seem to believe that there's no way a man could bust a nut with another woman if he loves you. And that is so contradictory to what we see in real life. I just wanted to see what you thought about that, at least that portion of the video. What do you think?
You know, it is extremely twisted, but it's true. It's very possible for a man to love his wife, to love his family, and still cheat, because men are hunters by nature. They are very physical beings, so they're not as emotional as females are. So when we cheat, we have to emotionally check out first, right? In order to cheat on our men with someone else.
That's usually how it is.
Like that.
But see, women, when I say those things, women on my page jump in my comments and tell me how wrong I am. They tell, and despite all the examples that I use, for example, I've been a side dude for multiple chicks. And every single time they have fell in love and tried to get me to replace their man, and was hoping that I felt the same way about them. When I was just enjoying our secrecy, our companionship in the pussy. Like, why can't we keep it like this? And so when women are trying to tell men, like every time I talk about cheating on my page, women portray it like they just treat fucking and cheating just like men do, which is false. At least based off everything.
It's not true. Well, in the beginning, maybe the initial, they start off as for some odd reason we think we can adapt the mindset of a man, but we get caught up in the moment. A woman eventually will always catch feelings. That's just a fact, right?
So you say, like, for, you know, a man to have sex with a woman, you know, or even cheating, still looks like it's almost, you could say it's almost primal instinct. And a woman catching feelings, you know, having sex and catching feelings, even if she did that first, is primal instinct for her to catch feelings eventually.
She will eventually catch feelings. If she spends a lot of time with you, she will catch feelings. Absolutely. Like, I've caught feelings a million times, okay? Like, I look dumb in these streets a million times. So, a woman will definitely catch feelings after a while, right?
Yeah, I mean, from a guy perspective, anytime you treating a woman, when you are demonstrating the type of man that she envisions herself being with, and you are making her come or making her sexually stimulated mentally, she's gonna catch feelings. She's gonna get addicted to that time, that attention, those private conversations, those inside jokes, all the things that come with fucking with a dude that got his shit together.
But that's your fault.
How's that?
That's your fault.
A man can't help it that he's fun and entertaining to be around.
That's your fault. You know why? Because I don't understand. Listen, if you only want to of me, okay? If you only want sex, why
that's a misconception right there. That's a misconception right there. You just said if you only want sex. Men don't only want sex. They enjoy your companionship too. They enjoy doing stuff with you too. They enjoy learning things from you too. So it's a lot more than just or only sex.
But it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that.
Men and women are always going to enjoy being around each other. Men don't want to be around other men 24/7.
I would inject on the dog. Yeah, this is for you, right? Women say, and I'm pretty sure you heard this, or you might have said so. Women say this a lot. Oh, well, you just wanted sex. Why did you say you just wanted sex? Why did you do all this, right? And so if the average guy says, you know what? Hey, listen, I just want to have sex. Just comes out right out the gate and say, I just want to have sex. That's it. I think you're cute.
Oh shit, that's it. Fireworks are gonna fly. She's gonna take offense to that if a man just came out and really did that.
Right, and that's my point. My point is that. So, you know, I mean, I think that's a bit of a catch-22 there.
Yeah, I mean, but it does. Well, it's an inaccurate description of dating. There are almost no situations where a man approaches a woman and it is only sex. That is usually a stripper, a chick that's selling some pussy, something like that, right? Most situations that where it's just that direct, and even for example, a dude's in Miami and he's trying to get some Miami pussy before he go back home. Even that's going to be more than just sex because he's gonna be like, "Hey, I'm only in town Friday and Saturday. Let's link up. Let's have some drinks. Let's go do dinner. Let's do this." It's not gonna be let's just fuck in most situations.
My question to you is because I know men are very simple beings and you guys don't like that extra stuff. But why do you guys feel the need? Okay, why do you feel the need to do all that extra stuff? Let's say I'm in Miami. You're in Miami for the weekend. You're gonna be like, Mimi, I'm gonna take you out. We're gonna have dinner. We can even hit a spa.
Yeah.
The beach. Why do we have to do all that?
You don't. You have the option to say no. You have the option to say no. You have the option to be like, nah, I'm good on the dinner. Nah, I'm good on the drinks. Nah, keep your weed. Nah, keep your time. Like you have all that is optional. You have the option to turn down all of that. So you can't pass the responsibility on the man. If somebody offers for you to do something, it's up to you to decide whether you're gonna say yes or no. If one of your homegirls was like, yo, me, let's go to this day party, but you had to go to work at 12 o'clock and you chose to go to the party anyway, then that's on you. So if a woman can't handle kicking it with a dude that told you he's only in town for the weekend, he told you he live in Atlanta, he told you everything about him, and he's kept it real with you, and you still end up kicking it and fucking him and falling in love, then that was on you. Like he didn't. As long as he didn't deceive you or promise you the world, how is a man supposed to be penalized for being cool, being fun to hang around, having the money to splurge and be entertaining, and keeping it real? Ain't that what y'all say y'all want? That's what women say they want, right?
We want that, but we also, you know what it is? I feel like a lot of times we lie to ourselves. And I know a lot of women are going to kill me for this. But I feel like sometimes the signs are just there. A woman's intuition never lies. We know what a guy wants initially. Even if his actions show otherwise, we just feel it. But we lie to ourselves, and then we try to change the man in the process, right? But what annoys me is, like, why are you playing along with it? If it's only sex, then just keep it as sex. Like, I don't need to know.
But that's not what. That's not going. Most women are not going to fuck a dude that they don't know anything about. So what that suggestion does not represent reality. Most women don't just fuck a dude they don't kick it with or spend no time around.
But I'm saying it has to be limited. I'm not saying you have to mess with
So
a stranger.
limit it.
That's not what
So limit it.
But it has to be limited.
Okay, so what's the threshold?
Well,
What would be the threshold here?
I know you know me, I know what it is. Let's not cuddle after sex. Why you hugging me, bro? Like, don't hug me. Feel something.
So don't have sex, you put his clothes back on and keep it pushing.
If a dude came and took you out and y'all went and y'all did the thing and he took off the rubber and got up and put on his clothes and was ready to bounce, you not gonna feel no type of way?
I would feel like shit. Okay?
So why are you suggesting that men keep it just sexual and bounce?
I would rather feel like shit and know what it is instead of falling for someone knowing that it's not going anywhere. But that's why I said, guys, it comes with maturity and experience. At this point in my life, I would rather that than being led on. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, that ties into the next post that we're gonna talk about. So I don't want us to skip out because we're getting into the situationship arena. So let's hold this off for a little bit later. All right, but the next post that I wanted to talk about, this was a post that I created that I put up, and it said 3 common assumptions women make about men. Number 1, a man that approaches me knows what he wants from me already. I don't know why so many women seem to assume that, but the way that quality men date and operate, they are attracted to you. So the only thing that he knows when he approaches you is that he would fuck you if the opportunity came about, and he's willing to put the time and energy into communicating with you and trying to link up with you in the future. That's it. He don't know anything else about you until y'all begin to interact and communicate. Right?
Right.
So it's unfair to assume that, oh, you knew when you first met me whether you wanted to marry me or not, or whether you wanted to be with me or not. Like, what in the fuck did y'all come up with that from? That does not represent how smart, intelligent men go about dating. Because this is how you know that that's not the case. Dating is so fluid that you could get one text or they could say one sentence to you that completely make you not want to fuck with them no more. That's how you know that dating is fluid. Somebody could say something or do something with you while you are with them and completely change your perspective on whether you would date them or continue fucking them.
That's true.
So that's how it's impossible for a man to know for a fact what he wanted from you. Like that's not a realistic perspective to take. And that's why the women that think that get disappointed 100% of the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're expecting some impossible shit to happen, you're going to get disappointed every day. If I really expect Superman to come and rescue me from a car accident, I'm always going to be disappointed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have realistic expectations, and paying attention to how things really happen in real life as opposed to how you think they should or how you wish they would it's always a better bet to go with how it really happens. At least in my perspective. All right, so number 2 on the post. It said the assumption was that the worst possible outcome for a scenario or situation is guaranteed to actually happen. Now, all these overthinking comments I see on my page every day are always rooted in the assumption that whatever you don't want to happen or whatever's the worst thing a man could do is the thing that he's most likely to do in any scenario. And that paranoid, insecure mindset is not conducive to having a healthy relationship.
It's not, because sometimes that mindset pushes the man to do what you assumed he was going to do.
Exactly.
Or he would do. And he wasn't going to do it. But because you keep pushing him to do it, he will end up doing it because you're being annoying. And that's not, and I'm speaking out of experience, that's bullshit. But a lot of women assume the worst, not knowing that they have a good thing. You're cheating, you're doing this. It's almost like you're speaking it into existence.
Yep.
And then it happens.
But why, like, you said you were good deal. Like, why do women tend to do that? Like, project things on, like, say, okay, they had an ex that cheated or an ex that stole, they projected on the next guy, holding it against the next guy. Said, oh, well, look at your hands. You look like you got, you know, you like you steal. You steal with those hands look like you steal. Like, why do women tend to do that?
Because I feel like a lot of women, after going through a bad breakup, they don't take time for themselves. They haven't healed properly. They jump into the next thing, and then they start comparing the new dude to the old dude because they're not really over the old dude, you know?
Right.
So they projected that insecurity that they still have within themselves onto the person they're with. Like,
Very
you're going to
accurate.
cheat on me, just like the next person. You're going to do this. And that person is not trying to cheat on you. They don't like you. They want to make it work. But because you keep speaking it into existence, eventually someone's going to come into the picture and do exactly what you said is going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned it, you know, the word insecurity. A lot of women take offense to that or instantly become, you know, in denial when you bring up the word insecurity. But their behavior and their mentalities reflect that they are not trustworthy. That the word insecure is the opposite of trust. So if you are paranoid that somebody's gonna cheat on you, leave you, fall in love with somebody else, then you have an insecure spirit. You're not confident in your relationship because a person is confident. Yeah, well, I don't know if it's necessarily a reflection of self, but it at least I will say is you're not confident in your relationship. You don't trust your partner. You know, I had a post a while back where it was something about a woman's cousin was coming to stay with her for like 2 weeks, but then her schedule got changed and she ended up having to work. And she told the cousin she couldn't stay alone in the house with her husband or something. And so many women act like they can't leave their man around no other woman without expecting them to fuck her. But they don't want to be called insecure though. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, man, you can't demonstrate an insecure mentality, then get offended when somebody describes that mentality or that behavior.
But you know why I say it's insecurity? Sorry, not insecurity. It boils down to self-love, because when you're with someone, you have to make yourself a priority and you have to love yourself more all the time, okay? You will set an example. The way you treat yourself is the way somebody else is going to treat you, because what you allow will continue. So I had that problem that I used to say I would never leave my man around her because I was insecure myself. Now if I have a man, I am going to leave him around her because I know what I have to offer. Now if you decide to go ahead and cheat on me with her, that's on you. You losing out on me. That's your loss. It's not mine. I'm so secure in myself that I don't have a problem anymore. So it boils down to self-love. Insecurity, if you don't love yourself, you will be insecure. That's just what it is.
All right, let's move on to the third assumption that I had on the post is that women assume that a man having relationship goals or methods of achieving his goals that differ from mine means he's playing games. You know, I see women criticizing the way men approach dating, which is actually going to tie into we're going to discuss a little bit in more detail with tonight's topic, but. There's nothing, you can't fault a man that is being transparent with you, that has kept it real with you, and gives you the opportunity to choose whether or not you want to be involved with him or not. You know what I mean? Like, so you have to take some self accountability for choosing to continue to fuck somebody in a situation that you can't handle. Choosing to continue to spend the night over a dude's house that you like. At some point, women have to be like, I'm saying yes every time he texts me. Every time he asks me, do I want to come ride that dick? I say hell yeah and drive over his crib. Like, at some point, you're accountable for those things because you didn't have to do that. Nobody, he didn't hypnotize you and give you a code word that forced you to drive over there and ride that dick. You did it because you wanted to go do it. You know what I mean? And so whenever somebody does something that they want to do, they have to be responsible and accountable for it. If you lost your life savings because you gambled with it, you can't blame the gambling on somebody else. You know what I mean? And so it's the same way with these type of situations. Did y'all want to comment on the post before we moved on? Because it seemed like the momentum is just moving towards the topic of the night.
Yeah, but I'll try to get on it. I mean, like you said, the woman chooses. Like at the end of the day, and I think Mimi will agree with this. The woman actually controls whether sex is going to go down or not.
True.
100%.
I mean, because most guys aren't usually going to turn down sexual events, still be like that. Or if he has, wants that sex, he's not going to turn it down. He's not going to turn it down.
Right.
So you could so if you would have said, "Hey, come over," no, you already made the decision that he's not going to have sex, or at least not for that matter.
Right.
Yeah.
We're just really bad with management sometimes, guys. But on some real though, like women definitely control the situation 85 to 95% of the time. We have the power to say no and to actually decide whether we want to continue the situationship, the relationship, whatever it is, or not.
True.
And we just feel like sometimes when we're in the process, we can't change the outcome. That's the problem.
Well,
right?
you can't. Nobody can ever guarantee the outcome of anything. If you could,
we think we can. That's the problem.
Well, yeah, that has to do with looking at reality instead of this fairy tale land where your fairy godmother's gonna come and drop a spell on the dude and make him behave how you think he should behave.
I think what it is your fantasy or what you want the man to be, a lot of times is y'all project it onto him. So then when it doesn't happen, you get to this point. I'm pretty sure you had those experiences in the past.
100%. 100%. And I tried to change him, and it just wouldn't work.
Yeah.
I ended up being hurt. I ended up looking hurt. But looking back now, he told me what it was all along. He told me what it was. He never really lied. I just didn't want to hear it, right? So I believe half lies.
Yeah. All right. Well, the last post of the top 3 is actually one of your posts from your Instagram page. So let's take a look at the video.
Guys, I need help. So, your girl's been going on dates and whatnot, okay? There's this one guy in particular that I've been talking to more than the others. I'm trying to date with purpose, okay? So I texted him. I'm like, yo, what exactly do you want from me? Where's this going? You know what he said? He goes, let's not put a title on it. We're just kicking it. I pick you up from work. I come to your house. You cook for me. We go to the movies. Just kick it. What is that, Kiki? Kiki eke? Was ist das, Kiki? I don't know what Kiki is. What does Kiki mean? What is that? Kicking it? What? I'm sorry. What is he saying? Do I look like the let's just kickity type of girl? The type of girl that's gonna cook for you although you're not my man? Do I really look like that? Let's not put a title on it. Oh, so he wants me to be the on-call chick, the one he can call like after midnight and shit, right? Is that what he's saying? This nigga really got me fucked up. He really got me fucked up.
Oh, man.
I see.
Oh, now that was very interesting. When I saw that, man, I couldn't stop laughing. But now that represents the thoughts of so many women. An overwhelming percentage of women think exactly what you articulated, right? So they place all these negative assumptions, and that's part of what I just remember when I said this post is going to relate to what we're talking about. That's what I meant. They assume the negative is absolutely guaranteed to happen, right? Okay, so you said in the video, you said, what is kicking it? Kicking it means you spend time with somebody and do things, interact with them on a consistent basis. Like that's really all it means. It doesn't mean you're not obligated to do anything. You don't owe them anything. Everything that you do with them is optional. So if he suggests that you meet up for some wings to hang out, you have the option to say no. You have the option to decline. That's all that means. It's not a derogatory term. It's not something with any other meaning to it. It does not guarantee you're only going to be a chick that he called after midnight or all these other things that y'all assume. You know what I mean? And so when y'all jump to all these negative assumptions, you eliminate the possibility of actually dating a quality man that's keeping it 100 with you.
How does that even make sense? I eliminate the possibility of dating a quality man if he clearly doesn't want to date. He's saying, let's not put a title on it. He doesn't want to go there.
Right now. Meaning, let's not be in a committed relationship right now. Because once you put a title on it, that means we're in a committed relationship.
Nope. Because while I am kicking it with you and being in a situationship with you, I don't know what the hell you're doing. And then what if you? Okay, I mean, if I'm in a situationship with you, I know, but if I'm in a situationship with you and I like you, and you end up with someone else, I'm gonna be the one hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like.
There's no way to guarantee you won't be hurt in a dating scenario. You know what I mean? Like until y'all both mutually want to be in a committed relationship. A situationship is a situation where one person wants it to be a committed relationship and the other person would rather stay single, at least for the time being. That doesn't mean they will never change their mind. That doesn't mean that their view won't change in the future. And it doesn't mean that they're doing anything wrong. You know what I mean? Like just
I have never met someone who was in a situationship and ended up being with the person. I never have. Have you ever?
My wife did. My wife was our dating experience in college was kind of what I would describe as a situationship. Quick synopsis. I know we don't have time to go really into it, but I wanted to be single my last year of college. So she wanted to be in a committed relationship. And I was telling her, like, look, this is my last year in college. I'm willing to be in a committed relationship with you after I graduate. But up until then, I'm being a Kappa on campus going hard to paint. You can choose not to fuck with me or whatever. And I was willing to accept the possibility of losing her. She chose to continue fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't want to say, all right, be my girlfriend and then cheat on you. That's stupid because you somebody I see as wife material. So sometimes timing is not just lined up. You're not on the same page as that person. That does not mean that you're not compatible with them. That does not mean it can't work out that way in the future. But there are also no guarantees that it will work out that way either. You know what I mean? And you have to accept all of that if you're going to effectively date. You can't get no assurances and guarantees like a lot of women try to do, or that's the way that they attempt to come up with dating strategies. Or they make assumptions thinking that that's what they're doing, but in actuality, they're decreasing the chances that they actually end up with the type of man that they want to be with. The dude that's not fucking lame and broke and the dude that none of y'all want or pay attention to. You know what I mean? Like, let's be real. Like, women don't want all men. So they want a small percentage of men. Men that, to put themselves in that percentage, have to do a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be the type of man that almost are universally viewed as husband and father material by everybody that know you, that means you got to have your shit together. You got to be responsible. You got to be making money. You got to be doing the things that it require to be a good husband and father. You know what I'm saying? And so those men can still be a hoe and fuck a lot of women and still have those qualities and characteristics and potential. You know what I mean? So just like a woman can be promiscuous and still have the potential to be a good mother or wife. You know what I mean? that scenario kind of plays into how men and women make their decisions on dating. Most men just are not going to choose that woman if they have other women to choose from. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a very simple logic that explains why those women get wifed up less or only by athletes and celebrities type situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that even just explaining how men make that decision gets negativity and negative responses from women. You know, just because I had put up a post a while back about saying that I would never wife a stripper. You know what I'm saying? Or a chick that posts her pussy, ass, and titties and shit on Instagram. Like, that don't mean that those women ain't good women or they can't raise good kids. That just mean that I got enough clout going for me that I can always choose from better options. I can choose from women that don't got their camel toe on the ground. I can choose from women that don't twerk for a living. I can fuck the nurse practitioner. I can date the engineer. Like, I can date the lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you get when you have degrees and you make the income and have the credentials that those type of women look for. So but just a man voicing those type of opinions really gets a lot of hostility, disrespect, a lot of women getting their feelings, but you can accept how it is or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, the men that got those qualities that women look for, those regular guys that ain't Kanye West and all those guys, they not wifing up strippers like that. Why wife up the stripper when you can go date a woman that got, you know what I'm saying, like, that don't do that?
Kind of stuff.
Right.
Like, that's not, that don't make you a bad dude. That don't mean you dissing strippers or nothing. Nah, they cool to fuck. They cool to hang out with. They cool to have fun with. But most men are not going to choose them to, that's who I want to marry and start a family with. Like, fuck out of here.
I think what got to be mindful, there's a luck factor that plays into this. Like you say, the situationship, it doesn't turn into nothing. But like Terry said earlier, if it turns into something that so guarantees that, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be a successful relationship.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I would say this, if you take a practical dating stance, you know, and take a pragmatic approach, I think it'll at least reduce the chances of luck here. Just like, all right, you know, you go to the casino to gamble, you know, you play blackjack. If you know what you're doing on the blackjack, it reduces the luck factor. Very true.
You know, it becomes a skill at a certain point if you actually know what you're doing.
Now even at the blackjack table, there's no guarantee you're gonna win X amount of dollars here.
Yeah.
So give me an example. Because you said you gotta know what you're doing. Like what?
Well, from a male perspective, dating is really a result of the energy you put into it or the skill you put into it. You know, men have it very different because men have to put in work to consistently get time, attention, and pussy from women. You know what I'm saying? Because the competition to get those things from the women that men find attractive is very, very intense. You know what I mean? And so if you're a lame that don't have what it takes to attract women, don't have the communication skills to engage them, to get them to want to fuck you, to operate or behave in a way that makes women not want to fuck you, like, then you're not going to get much pussy. You're not going to have much female companionship. You're going to be a fucking gamer that play Xbox every night. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you adapt. Unless you adapt and start changing things. You realize, oh man, me being fat and nerdy looking, let me grow a beard. Let me change my look. Let me hit the gym. Let me do something that makes me more attractive to women.
Hey, daddy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not hard. It's not like people don't know what it takes. It takes effort to do those things though. Anybody can just eat snacks and become a fat slob. The dude that consistently watch what he eat and work out and make sure he look good, that's the dude that deserves to get the pussy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's who women are going to give their time and attention to, especially when they see he drive the type of car they like. His crib is fly. He dress nice. He wear designer cologne. Like, all it takes is one hug for a woman to tell you making money, that you live a decent lifestyle. A woman can tell you not a bum from across the room. You know what I mean? Like, so those type of men that have the credentials that women look for are never going to struggle to get women. That's why it's very important that your personality be somebody that he misses when he's not around you. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're not around you, he thinks pleasant thoughts. He's looking forward to seeing you again. That's what's going to give him the incentive to shoot you that, hey, what you doing Thursday text? When you told him y'all wasn't supposed to link up until Sunday. But he just hit you out the blue. Hey, my partner got a ticket to the Jill Scott concert. What you doing that day? That's what happens when a man enjoys your companionship and your conversation and you're not doing the things that push him away. You're not causing drama. You're not creating assumptions that he got to argue with you about. Hear you come up with all this bullshit about what you thought and what you made up and what your intuition told you that turns out to be 100% false. Like, that's the shit that make women become not viewed as wife material. She's always tripping, so I'm going to just keep fucking her and keep it casual. That's what happens. He's going to keep fucking you until you decide that you're not going to fuck him no more. And he's cool with that. His life's not going to fall apart when you stop fucking him.
Damn. Well, excuse me, that hurt.
It's not. If you got to do a quality man that every woman that knows him views as husband and father material, at what point in his life is he going to struggle to get women that want to fuck him and spend time with him? If he got a good job, if he got a nice crib, if he got his life together, when's he ever going to be missing that part of his life? He's going to be able to consistently get time, attention, and pussy from 14 or 15 until the day he died.
But you don't think women that have their stuff together and are good looking and all of that, you don't think they have the same advantage?
I say yeah, no. Like
they have different goals.
I say this: when you get different guys' attention, yes, absolutely, you will catch a lot of guys' attention. But here's the thing: not all of them gonna have the same. Not all of them, hey, I wanna wipe up some just off of, and you're gonna a lot of those do have a lot of thirsty dudes coming at them, making all kinds of advances at them, from money, sex.
Yeah, well, it's not the same because men and women don't have the same relationship goals. Men don't go around visualizing what tux they gonna have on when they get married and who's gonna be in their wedding party. Like, that's not what men are thinking of visualizing. But women got their weddings planned and all this type of stuff. So when men go into a dating experience, they're not gonna be upset if it don't turn into a happily ever after. They're cool with going from strangers to fucking. Like, men are perfectly cool with all that interaction and all those things that go into it. Learning about you, learning about your personal life, what you got going on, learning about your dog and where you work and your day-to-day. That's the part and being able to fuck you and spend time with you too. He don't want to be your platonic buddy because that time he's giving his platonic buddy, he could be giving a chick that would want to suck his dick and fuck him. You know what I'm saying? Like, so logically, if you got 5 days out the week and you got 6 or 7 chicks that want to fuck you, you're not going to make much time for your platonic homegirls. You know what I'm saying? Like, the single man is going to be spending time with the women that want to give him the things he enjoys doing. If he just want to hang out with a buddy, he'll go with his homeboys. And that's how most men set up their life. They focus on what they do for a living to make their bread, time with their homies, kicking it, watching sports, etc., and the women that they're romantically involved with outside of family. That's really what it boils down to how most of the men that women view as husband and father material operate.
So what advice would you give to women that are currently in situationships and are envisioning the relationship to go elsewhere? Would you say just go with the flow? Don't assume the worst, but also don't assume the best? Or what exactly?
That makes a lot more sense than making an assumption and treating it like it's a fact. I
agree with the first point. With the first point you made, don't assume the worst, but don't be like, okay, the best situation is gonna come out of it either.
Yeah, you have to be realistic about how dating happens. You know what I mean? Like, just because you get along with somebody or you have a great time with somebody or some bomb-ass sex with somebody don't mean that you're compatible long term. That don't mean that that's somebody you can build your life with. You know what I mean? And so it takes time to figure out that level of compatibility because you have to see this person in real world scenarios. You have to see them really deal with crisis. You got to see how they really fall out with somebody. You got to see how them in a situation where they fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to see all these type of things. You don't learn that in the first 6 weeks you fucking or dating a dude. You don't know whether he's husband or material or not when you're insisting on a title. So you got some unqualified ass motherfucker that decide, all right, cool, you my girl now, and now you on Facebook, we together, we this and that and that. You not even compatible with this motherfucker. But you fucking him consistently, which increases the chance that he becomes your baby daddy.
Right.
You increasing the chances that you become financially connected to him. That's why men view it and look at it like that don't make sense.
Yeah, I think what happens was that, you know, and we talked about this a lot on back into the old show of that honeymoon stage, you know. And,
True.
And you know, and really, I think you can answer when you first meet a guy that you're feeling, right? A lot of women go through what you call the euphoric stage, like all your fantasies and everything. What kind of guy you want, you kind of project that onto him when you first start kicking.
Most women are so gullible, they tell the dude exactly how they want him to act.
Oh, they want what?
I said most women are so gullible that they end up telling the dude exactly how they want to act. Like, men are smart enough to peep behavior patterns on women, right? So the men that are smart enough to know that for real, how long was your last relationship? 7 months. Why'd it end? Oh, because of X, Y, and Z. Oh man, he's fucked up. I would never X, Y, and Z you. You need a man that does A, B, and C. Women fall for this super. You said what?
That's exactly why I don't tell y'all nothing. Okay?
Well,
I don't tell y'all while the other guy messed up. So you can't act like you don't do that shit. I'm sorry. It's none of your business.
That's not a real productive approach either. Because in order for you to grow towards making a man want to marry you, he has to be learning something about you. If you decide what?
I don't need to tell you what the other person did wrong. Like, I will tell you what I've learned from the situation, but I'm not going to bash the man saying, oh, he wasn't shit, he did this, he did. I don't
saying what somebody did ain't bashing them. Saying what happened or describing someone's behavior is not bashing them. There's a difference between saying we broke up because I found out he cheated than saying he ain't shit, his dirty dick ass ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, describing what he did is just stating what happened. That's not bashing somebody. You know what I mean? Like, so.
But a lot of women, including myself, I did that before. We do that, especially when we're still hurt. We do that.
The bashing can't help, but yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, but I was just mentioning that a lot of women make it easy for fuck boys and men that are willing to deceive them because they just set themselves up with this. We're gonna fall in love and we're gonna be together forever. On like the third phone conversation. So it's like, I don't know.
I'll let read these questions for you. You know, if you're still hurt from that previous relationship, why go into trying to date somebody else?
You shouldn't. I would never recommend it. Like, all the women that I talk to, don't do it because you will not fully be able to give your all to that new person. And like I said before, you will project whatever happened to the other failed relationship and the insecurities that you have to that person. And now you're going to hold this person to a higher standard, expecting them to be way better than your older man. And you're going to start comparing the two. So I do not, even for men, I don't suggest for people that are still heartbroken to just put themselves out there in the dating scene. Don't do that. Don't. It's like you're setting yourself up for failure. I wouldn't recommend it. I would never do it.
Well, from a male perspective, most men aren't searching for love. They're not dating They're not dating with the hopes that, man, I hope we fall in love and we're together forever. That's not what men are thinking when they meet women. You know what I mean? And so that's why men are not that your heart's not healed, so you're not in a space to date. A man is always in a position to hang out with a woman and potentially fuck. Like a man could be in any mind state and can enjoy female companionship, especially if it potentially leads to sex. Men don't require anything extra for sex. Sex is just pleasure for most men anyway. So a man don't need no special treatment to enjoy watching a playoff game. A man don't need no special emotional trigger to go enjoying shooting dice with his homies. Like, if he likes doing something, he likes doing it. And busting a nut is usually on every man's list of things to do. You know what I mean? Like, so that part of it ain't rocket science. You don't want to hang around your male friends 24/7 unless you're gay. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless they the ones helping you bust a nut. But for straight men, they gonna have to fit. They're going to fit female companionship in their schedule if they have that ability.
I mean, most men, most men don't have sex because they have emotional tension or they're in love with the person they're having sex with. Most men have sex with the intention, I'm about to go bust this nut. And that's that's most men's purposes of having sex.
Yeah.
Right.
And female, with a female, not somebody's titty. Now,
but the only time it's different is when it's a woman he already loves or cares about. Like, that's the only time sex has additional meaning to it. Everything else is just a fun memory, something that feels good, intended to bust a nut. Hopefully it was off the chain where you remember the shit, you remember what kind of panties she had on or something, where when every time you see her name in your phone, you think, that's the chick I had in the back of the truck. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just associate what was it from the movie Inside Out? A core memory. Like, good sexual experiences become core memories for men.
Right.
And I think that's with
guys, let's just say, went to high school, college, used to work, whatever. They'll go 20, 30. Yeah, I remember you used to smash such and such. And,
yeah.
Yeah, I used to smash her back in the day. Yeah, she married such and such. Yeah, I remember when I used to.
Yeah, men have those kind of conversations.
We have that too. We have those type of conversations too. Not every person, not every guy that a woman sleeps with, she feels something for. Okay? Mm-hmm. Maybe that's a misconception that guys have or men have. Like, oh my gosh, she has to feel something for me in order. No. We both are wide open for niggas that we don't feel nothing about or too. Like, don't get that shit twisted, okay? Like, because when other things get involved, like constant communication, texting, seeing you, hugging you, like cuddling after sex and all that other stuff, that's when the emotions come into play. But we have those, listen, we just
I bet you, if you told a dude, look, I'm gonna just give you some pussy on a regular basis, but we ain't gonna do no extra kissing, hugging, or nothing. How many men you gonna think they gonna be like, nah, if we ain't gonna come with the loving and cuddling, keep the pussy?
Zero.
Exactly. So for you to say, let's just keep it with sex and don't do all that extra stuff, you have the option to make that happen. You could offer that scenario to men.
You took the words right from me because I was just saying, that's just what you want. Why don't you just say, okay, listen, we ain't gotta go out to dinner, we ain't gotta hug, kiss, cuddle. You can come here, fuck me, and then after that, you can go on about your business.
I'll sign up. You finna get a whole bunch of volunteers. I'll sign up.
I've never heard a situation where a woman said that to a guy and got this.
You know what? This situationship thing, right? The only time a man is in a situationship is when he's in the friend zone. When he's hoping that she'll be his girl. He's hoping that it'll become more. That's the only time it becomes that. You know what I mean? Because a situationship is usually a situation where a woman wants a committed relationship from a man. And so most men are that it's not like it's something that a man can force a woman to do. You know, when I talk to women about this, they say things like, "He gonna get mad because I'm dating other dudes." Let the motherfucker be mad. He
Right.
chose to not be your man. Like
Exactly.
if a man come to you and be like, "Hey, I really like you. I want you to be my girl," and you be like, "Nah, I'm cool," because you in love with Big Dick Jamal and you wishing and hoping Jamal wipe you up, then you can't be mad at old boy for doing what he do. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's
Like even like most of them don't even care to be the side dude. They don't.
Yeah.
That's so true. You guys really don't care. Like, y'all not even
Hey, listen,
offended.
I got a boyfriend, I got a husband, but you know, you can come over.
That pussy in that mouth still work.
You know, guys gonna be like, you know what? Nah, I'm above being a side dude. When have you ever heard that?
You know what I mean? But you know what, Jay? Smart men don't even ask you about your relationship status. I learned very early on, a woman is gonna tell you her situation, and she's gonna let you know whether she want to fuck with you or not. So a chick that's fucking with you will be like, "I do got a boyfriend." That just let me know, all right, bet I ain't finna get you caught. I'm finna make it easy for you to come give me this pussy. Like, men are not offended by that. They're not. They take it for what it is and don't add any additional meaning or significance to it like women often do.
Like nobody ever says, "Hey, listen, you can't just keep bugging and you're gonna be boyfriend. Are you gonna leave your boyfriend leave me or not?"
Well, that does happen, but you know what that usually is? Like that. Those are situations where it's like two people that are in relationships start cheating, and then the man gets caught cheating, and this girl leave, and now he's like, "Well, shit, she left me, so I'm expecting you to say fuck it and be with me," type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if you know what it is for a side dude that's willing to play his role, man, they make great counselors. They really keep a lot of relationships rolling. You know what I'm saying?
So,
Like,
y'all good with being side niggas. Like, that's the perfect. That's the perfect.
it's not necessarily, it's not perfect. You know what I'm saying? But if you are single, or if you are a man that's in a situation where you cheating on your girl, then fucking a chick that got an old man is great because her time is already limited. She's not gonna be public. She's not gonna do things. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's focused on making sure y'all communicate regularly and y'all fuck regularly. That's
My
it.
question is, why not break up with your girl if you want to fuck another girl?
What if you got kids? What if you got financial ties? It could be. It's a whole bunch of reasons men don't just leave that girl. Like that. That's a very. Men are really penalized when they leave situations with women that involve children or money. So that's usually a big factor in why men be like, "Man, it's easier for me to just let my coworker suck my dick every now and then and keep that a secret than leave my girl, pay her $1,800 a month in child support and alimony, and live off the $2,300 that's left." Like, he's gonna say, "Well, nah, fuck that. I've been paying for this house for 6 years. I didn't," you know what I'm saying? Like, he's not gonna be willing. I mean, that's your but the reason, but he's not gonna be looking at it like, you know what? I'm finna bust this nut. I deserve to lose my house. I deserve to lose my retirement fund. I deserve to pay $2,000 a month. He's not looking at busting a nut as that having that consequence to it. So that's why he's not just gonna say, "You know what? Let me just go file for divorce so she can take my income, and just so I can hit some new pussy that I don't want to wife, that I don't want to be with forever. I just wanted to fuck the chick a couple times. I just wanted to see what her ass looked like in a thong." Like, most men are not trying to wife every woman they encounter. So they're not about to leave the woman that they love or want to build their life with over a woman that they just want to fuck or hang out with. And so, in a lot of situations, a person that's cheating, man or woman, is doing it because they're missing something out of their relationship. So they use that side person to supplement what they're missing or not getting from their girl.
Why not communicate with your girl and tell her what you're missing?
That men do. I try that all the time. I'm a great communicator. I communicate with women every day, and women still instantly refute what I say. There are women that will tell me what men think and feel instead of listening to a man explain what he thinks and feels. So that sounds great in theory. Just communicate. Just tell her how you feel. Just tell her what you think. But women have demonstrated how instantly they dismiss what men think and feel. How they treat their assumptions about what men think and feel with more weight than they treat what men actually tell them. There are many men that will account for, why'd you do this? He starts explaining why he did it. Oh, you're a fucking liar. Oh, you're just making an excuse. So that's what happens when men trying to communicate with women about a situation that made her mad, hurt her feelings, or she perceives to be disrespectful. So it sounds great on paper. Fellas, you should just communicate with your women and solve disagreements and resolve issues. But in real life and trying to apply those things, women often don't listen to men. And it's demonstrated every day on my page. Oh, Terry, fuck you, I'm unfollowing. Instead of, damn, this is what men really experience. This is what, damn, he really broke down what men go through really well. He explained it really well. I did not know men felt that way. Most women will respond with the fuck him, he hates women, he ain't shit, I'm unfollowing. Instead of like, damn, this dude's keeping it really 100. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's saying shit that most men can't really say. He's telling you how it really is. He's not candy coating it. He's not feeding us fairy tale bullshit. But most women don't respect and appreciate that. They would much rather be told he's going to if he don't love you, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he's the one, he'll take you on a glamorous date. He'll actively pursue you. He'll move mountains. Like, they will much rather follow that person and treat that like it's real.
Like, what you hear a lot of people, cliche, especially on your comments, you know, when you explain the whole cheating thing. If he loved me, he wouldn't have cheated. You know,
yeah, they'll just instantly jump back to that. You're right.
Oh God.
So I mean,
they're going to cheat regardless. Honestly, I just made my mind up. They still going to cheat. Like,
there's nothing that guarantees a person's gonna cheat. There are things you can do that increase or decrease their desire to cheat. Just like a man can treat you in a way that it makes it more likely that your handsome coworker that's flirting with you get your attention. Then if your man was treating you perfect, it's easy for you to curve motherfuckers like that. But when your man is broke and ain't treating you right, and the coworker that got money that you heard got a big dick, that like, it's easier for him to flirt with you when you're missing things from your relationship.
But like I said before, with men, you don't have to miss. Men don't need to miss something in their relationship to cheat.
They don't. You're right. That is very true. But when you're talking about a man that has stuff to lose, when you're talking about a man with assets, a man with something to really lose, his family, a woman that he really loves, those type of men are not usually just randomly going out and risking it all. There's usually a real reason, at least from his perspective, on why he's willing to take that small risk as opposed to just doing what women say. You should just walk away and leave. Like, if a motherfucker just get up and leave his family for some pussy, how's he gonna be portrayed to everybody? If he just say, man, I just left because I wanted to fuck this new coworker so bad, so I just left my wife and family just because that ass was so fat. How's he gonna be perceived? How's that gonna look, right? You laughing, right? Because it's ridiculous that everybody will say, "What the fuck? You gonna leave your family over that?" No, the most rational man is gonna be like, "Man, I love my family, but that ass is fat, so I'm gonna fuck her once or twice and keep it a secret, and that's it." He's going to look at it as taking a smaller risk as opposed to doing something drastic and unrealistic. Even though we all know cheating is wrong, like, that's not to excuse it or not to say it's right to do, but when compared to I'm gonna just leave my wife and kids because I want some new pussy, that's not going to be the decision most men make. We criticize men that leave they wife and kids for the side chick, and men criticize that too. Like, that's the most fucked up position you can leave a woman in, and so. Unless the woman is really doing something that warrants her not being wife material, you know what I'm saying? Like D-Wade type of situation, most men are going to try to stick with their family. At least most men that are solid and family oriented are. You know, women file for most divorces, not men. All right, man. Man, we might have to have you back on the show in the future, man. This was really interesting. It looks like we are up against the clock, so we're gonna have to cut the conversation short. The podcast episode will be available on iTunes and Google Play, so make sure you subscribe to the podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at the More Than Love Podcast. Mimi, let them know where they can follow you again and where they can find your content.
Talks with me, y'all. Talks with me.
All right, man. Me, I appreciate you taking the time to do the show with us. Jay, man, it's been another.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome, man. This has been another episode of the More Than Love Podcast. Thanks for tuning in.